Hi everyone, it's Ian from DIY Home and Gardening. It's a beautiful afternoon here, although somewhat blustery, fairly cloudy, so hopefully the rain will hold off. But thought I'd take the opportunity to get out the allotment and begin to take down this shed in preparation for moving. So I'll turn the camera around and we'll have a little look. So that is my allotment there with current shed. And the new allotments are over there. So as a compromise with the owner, it's been agreed that it can have one of these other sheds to take apart and relocate. So this is the shed that I'm having, which, as you can see, I've had to clear out all the previous occupants' rubbish, and now begins the taking apart. So yeah, cleared out a lot of the rubbish, as I say, already, and the plan is to move it in obviously as fewer pieces as possible. So ideally just keeping the two sides and the back and the front to move, and then the roof. So let's get to this side. It was totally felted, and really, in order for well, minimal expense and but also making it easy to move, what I've done is I've literally just removed that middle section of felt, and that's been chucked, going to be chucked away. I've got this old scrap of felt that I had in my garage at home, so I've brought that up. So I'm thinking that hopefully, fingers crossed, that will be big enough to go back down the middle when it gets that time. So we got rid of the middle piece, and now inside, aside from this plethora of screws, there are some fixing screws there which hold the bottom section of the roof, and somewhere, there we are, there's screws there that hold this top piece together. So those screws have got to be removed to start with. Oh yeah, and then we've got a couple of screws in there as well. So remove the screws for the roof, and then should be left with an outer frame. So thankfully they're all crosshead screws, so get your appropriate bit in the cordless drill and let's go. Right, so I've unscrewed one panel, and you can see you've got the separation there, and really just double check as you move it that you've got no more fixings. And then the plan is, I mean, ideally the plan would involve two people, but I don't have two people. So ideally you want to take one side off first and then repeat with the other. So let me try and lower this down. So for the time being, I've just rested it on the side there. So you can see on this one it has this middle support bar, so we can just leave it to rest on the side while I go to the outside and then lift it down. Yeah, it's always much easier and a better solution if you've got two of you, but on a shed such as this one, an 8x6, taking it down is still possible with a one person. Well, that's the first panel down. Just repeat the process with the next. So next stage, and if you need to, remove any bits of trim that are anchoring into the ground, and again, if you need to, remove these side battens. A lot of the time, to be honest, you can get away with leaving them on, but just see what's applicable for yourself. So next stage on from that, to remove either the connecting side bolts or screws. You'll have one or the other. So in this case it's hexagonal headed piece, so just find an appropriate sized fitting, as in one of these, or a pair of pliers, mole grips or something to unscrew that. So again, if it screws, then remove accordingly. And for the time being, I'm going to remove this front end, so close the door, make sure the door's nice and secure, and then remove this front panel, leaving the two sides and rear. Okay, so bottom ones have been removed. I have taken off these corner panels, so you can see that it's actually really loose now, and have left these just in, as didn't want the whole panel flapping around. So yeah, literally remove this one, same on the other side, and then this panel's good to come down. So that's the front off. So basically just repeat stages exactly the same to unconnect or disconnect this side, or do one side and then do the other. You don't want to undo the whole of the back, or you'll end up with everything falling apart and damaging the panel. So next, take this side down, much easier. So with only the last two panels remaining on the shed, if you're by yourself, then set up something such as some ladders or other sort of props, which will basically allow you to lay one side down whilst you tackle the other, or ideally get someone else to help you, especially when it's windy like it is today. Well, I've got no help, so ladders it is. So minor technical hitch only on this shed though, but because this shed had previously been used for keeping ducks many years ago, it had it's got that door built into it, which essentially I've had to unscrew to allow me to have access to the last fixings. But now that's done, yeah, let's get it done. Okay, well, that's the sheds taken apart, supporting beams all off. Now just got to move it up the top.